These are our 4-5 notes, lesson 4-5 on scatterplots and linear correlations. In the past, we wrote linear equations given a point and a slope. Presently, we're going to investigate relationships between quantities by using points on a scatterplot, and we can use lines of fit to make predictions. And in the future, we'll write equations of best fit lines and median fit lines using linear regression. So if you look at the box right below here, or right here, so it says a blank shows the relationship between a set of data with two variables graphed as ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. Scatterplots are used to investigate a relationship between two quantities. That should have told you what we put into that blank. So it is a scatterplot. Whoops. Get my pen on here. So scatter plot. And then when we have a scatter plot, there are three different relationships our scatter plot can have. If you look at the very first one, if I look at these dots as they're going, I should see kind of an upward trend, meaning that this is a positive correlation. So this is positive correlation, meaning that's how they go together. Correlation means how they go together. And so y, if you look, y is doing what? It's increasing. So y increases as x increases. Positive, they're both increasing. That should make sense to us. So if we look at the next example, and as we're looking, it's going down. So as x increases, y decreases. So y decreases as x increases, and this looks like a what kind of slope? That's what helps us. It is a negative correlation, is what we call that. Negative correlation. And then if you look at our last example, there's kind of dots everywhere. I don't really see a trend line up or trend down because they're just kind of all over the place. And it means x and y are not related. It means I can't get a positive or negative slope out of them, kind of correlation. So we call this no correlation. Should make sense to us. Nothing really to memorize, just make sense of the point. So as y increases and x increases, we get this is kind of a positive line. I see a positive line going there. This one, as my x increases, my y is decreasing, and you'll see it kind of looks like a negative slope. This one, I've got dots all over the place. I can't make a clear line, so it's just no correlation. So now that we know the three types, we can actually apply that to our two examples at the bottom here. So we're going to determine whether, we are going to determine whether the graph shows a positive, negative, or no correlation. If there's a positive or negative correlation, we're going to describe its meaning in the situation. So the first thing I see is this graph right here, and I see the wages. And so it says wages on the left. I always want to look at my labels to understand what I'm reading, and hours down here. So it looks like as the hours are going up, I see increasing numbers. The wages are also increasing. So like at 8 hours, maybe that's like $125. At 16 hours, we've got like a little more than 2, so $210, $215. At 28 hours, I've got a little more than $300. So as my hours are going up, my wages are also going up. So if you look at your three examples, my x and my y are both increasing. So it makes kind of a positive slope line, right? So this is a positive correlation. So positive is what we want to put here. And then I also have to know the meaning. So if somebody asks me what that meant, and it doesn't have to be War and Peace, you can just write it quickly. As the x increases, so as we work more hours, as more hours are worked, more wages are earned. And that's it. Done. So as we work more hours, we make more money. Okay? Look at B. It says average weekly work hours in the U.S., and then I have hours over here, and I have the years since 1995 here. So again, we're looking at the correlation. As I'm looking at my dots, I see they do have a correlation. I could probably make a line, in here somewhere. And as I notice my years going up, so my X value is going up, my Y values are actually going down. So that is a negative correlation. And again, I have to explain it then. So this is a negative correlation. So the meaning, that means as we've gotten away from 1995, so the further away from 1995 we've gotten, the hours that, the average weekly work hours in the U.S. have gone down. And that's all I have to say. So since 1995, the average weekly work hours in the U.S. have, you could say, declined, gone down, etc. So have declined yearly. And I would say that because to show that it keeps going down. It's not just like once it went down, but it keeps going down. So, and that's it. You're done with that. So now let's look at page 2 of your notes. And you'll notice at the top, it says try this, meaning these are all yours. So you're doing the exact same thing we did on the bottom 2 with these 4 examples, and that is the rest of your notes.